Good evening, folks. Welcome to Smokeys preorbital gland lure. I had a friend ask me how to do a licking branch and a scrape using the preorbital lure. So I got a few steps and instructions for you so you can be successful as well. Number one is going to be scent control. As you can see, I got rubber gloves, rubber boots. I spray down. Anywhere I walk, anything I touch, I want to be scent free. I don't want that deer to know I was there. I want him to think that other deer was in there, in his area. I want him to look for that deer. Two is going to be location. I got a travel corridor here that leads up to a saddle. I got intersecting paths. I got pretty much a pinch point right here. So that's what you're going to look for. You're going to look for your main travel routes of your deer so you can get the inventory of those deer and that your gland lure is most effective for you. I use the Wicked Wick. This is $5 in one bottle. This is your gland lure from around the eyes. This is how your deer communicate all year long using that licking branch. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to look for a licking branch that's about 3.5 feet off the ground. This one here originally was not here. This branch wasn't here. It was up about 6 foot. So what I did is I went and I broke off a branch from another tree. I took 2 zip ties, zip tied it onto this branch, and now I got a low hanging branch, my licking branch. I want that thing to be durable because I'm going to take the top of the bark off. I'm going to take my needle nose or my pliers, I'm going to crush it up. I want to mash it up because what I'm going to do is I'm going to drip that lure on the top of that branch, and it's going to seep down into that branch and hold that scent. So what I did was I took the top part of this bark off of this branch, and I crushed it up. And then I'm going to make a couple drops on the top of that branch and let it seep down in. I'm going to do that using the Wicked Wick, and I'm only going to do about 6 drops. If it rains a lot, you're going to do this maybe every week or two. Your gland lures are very strong. It doesn't take much, especially when it comes to a whitetail's nose. Next, we got our doe entered preorbital gland. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put about 4 or 5 drops, maybe 6 drops on there. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to get your scrape area. You want to scrape all that away, down to the mud. You want to get that fresh dirt up there. What I try to do is I try to put lines in that scrape so it looks like a deer had its hoof in there scraping away. And then I'm going to make an imprint that looks like a hoof print in the middle of that scrape. You want this to be as realistic as possible for that deer. You want him to know or think that there's another deer in his area. So I just take my boot, scrape away, and I'm going to make my mark. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my doe enter digital. This is your gland lure from between the toes. I'm going to take about 5 or 6 drops and drop in the middle of that scrape. And then I have my buck enter digital. Again, this is the gland lure from between the toes of that deer. I'm going to put about 5 or 6 drops of that in the middle of that scrape. those deer are going to smell those two scents in there for the licking branch and the scrape. This is the scents they look for when they come in there. This is going to tell them that someone is in their area. One of the things I like to do in addition to that is Smokeys makes a forehead gland lure. And what I'm going to do is that buck already knows somebody's in his area. Somebody's taking inventory of his doe. He's going to make a rub. You're going to make a rub, a mock scrape rub. You're going to roll the bark out on that. You're going to put a couple drops in that, let it sink down in. When he finds that mock rub, it is going to light him up. He's going to react to calls a lot better. That's a good way to get him into your area using those calls for a close shot. He's going to be very responsive. We're in the beginning of November. The rut's getting ready to kick. Does are coming into estrus. He's very territorial about his area. If you have any questions or concerns about the licking branch or the preorbital lure, please feel free to message or make comments, and I'll do my best to respond. I am going to do another video using the forehead gland lure and give you some step-by-step instructions for that. One of the things I'll do before I go is I'll move the camera down here so you can see the scrape area and kind of get a gist of what that looks like and how you want yours to be done.